Coach, what did you learn from the first match that you can hopefully use on Saturday night?
Well, for sure, a lot. And I just got done listening to some of our players be so articulate and well-spoken and mature with their perspectives. And I listened in on some of the interviews and some of the questions that you folks already asked our players. It gave me great comfort to hear all of their maturity and perspectives. To be honest with you, we have not come in and talked about that match much. We haven't hammered it home much. We kind of just came in and said, what's the next thing, and let's get better and let's work. And they're all really mature athletes, so it's not like we need to rub that as part of the motivation. They just came back and said, all right, match one's down. What do we do for match two? And all we have done is focus on that. We have not talked about correcting things from there or disappointments from there. We've just talked about what's next. And we got a cool group of people, and you heard some of them already speak, that have an amazing perspective. So I think it was best that we just put that in the rearview mirror and get on with it. And, you know, we're looking forward to getting another chance to play together.
What do you know about this San Diego team?
Well, our players, it's interesting in this league, all of our players know everybody. And they know everybody on our team, and they know everybody on these other teams. All the teams have really good players, former USA national team players, former collegiate All-Americans, Athletes Unlimited superstars. They all know each other. They know their tendencies. They know their strengths. They know their weaknesses. And so players in the league are collaborating before they play these matches, and they know a lot about each other. We're also watching video, and we're getting ready, but San Diego hasn't played yet. We're going to have a little watch party tonight as a group and watch San Diego play Atlanta, and our team will gather together and we'll say, well, this is some of our hypothesis about them, and we'll get to see them live and in person, and then we'll get to see them in the CHI Center. And it's going to be fun. They have a lot of good players and great coach. It's going to be exciting, and I think every one of these PVF matches is going to be really exciting, and it's just going to be another one, but it's still early, and we got a lot more, but we're looking forward to it.
Will that help with the film that, it's pretty low film that you have access to, individual players, but now that you have them playing against Atlanta and you know how Atlanta is playing after last week, is that a little bit of a plus for that circumstance?
Yeah, we're getting video on every player from their college, from Athletes Unlimited, from any national team experiences, and we're merging video from, we have a good coaching staff that's obsessed with how we can prepare. So we have video on, even though they haven't played together as the San Diego team, we know each of their individual players. They have an amazing setter. That's one thing. When the CHI Center sees their setter, we have good setters. She's a little different in terms of her creativity, and the crowd's going to love her. Now, they need to keep loving our two setters, but she'll be one of the most entertaining things to watch, for people to watch. And we're getting ready for her because she's very good, and they have very good players. So we're just looking forward to that. But we'll get a chance to watch them play, and then we'll see, well, this is who's there. We don't really know exactly. We kind of have an idea. So we've been preparing this week for what our idea is that we think is going to happen over there.
Did you get a moment to soak it all in, both before the match or during the match for you?
Of our first match?
Yeah, the first match.
It was interesting. I think when we went to Volleyball Nebraska Day, we were there to soak it up. And that's all we did. We just said, this is epic, and we're here kind of outside looking in. It's different when you're inside looking out and you're part of an event like that. When you're in that, you're kind of in your own bubble, and you got to take care of business, and you got to stay focused, and you can't let the event be like too crazy. Volleyball Nebraska Day got crazy, but we weren't actually in it. We were in it, and I think our players were managing that reality. I mean, how can you manage being the first of the first in front of that crowd? And all of our players had a good perspective, but you can't imagine, maybe it affected us a little bit. We had to work through that. I mean, if you're normal in an epic first ever environment, you're not normal. So we had to figure it out. And as coaches, we were trying to figure it out. Big crowd, a lot of responsibilities, tight match. We'd not played one yet together, and we had to learn and fight through it. And I do think we learned from that. We wanted to get it done that night and get out of there with a win and celebrate, but we didn't. And now I think we're going to look forward to the next one. And that's what you do as athletes and coaches. You don't dwell on the past. You just say, all right, that happened. What's next? Let's go.
And afterwards, even after a loss, pretty much the whole crowd stood up and gave it a standing ovation. How cool was that moment?
Yeah. To be appreciated by a crowd, not on a conditional love basis, is kind of cool. But I know in Nebraska, they're all used to winning here, and they're used to winning a lot, and the fans are used to winning, and they're used to walking out of the arena with success. And I think we all feel that too. That's a reality. But I think for them to appreciate that first event, they were part of it. They can always say, when this league blows up and it's, 16 cities and on national TV, they're going to say, I was at the first match ever. That's a pretty cool thing. And they were with us at ground zero, which is pretty cool.
With the new technology, countdown concert clock, a lot like what Major League Baseball's been. What's that like starting the league with? Help mainstream some of that?
Yeah, what's interesting about that is the league and the coaches and the players all got so many calls that why doesn't the NCAA have quicker replay? And this is really cool replay system, and the technology is amazing, and it is very expensive. And the Pro Volleyball Federation and Omaha ownership to invest in that technology, it takes a lot of money to say we're going to have that quality of a product. We had international leagues calling the PVF saying that's some of the best technology or best telecasts they've ever seen. So we're setting a standard not just for our country, but maybe a world league to say this is really, really special. And they're setting a high bar, and they're investing a lot to do it. And I think a lot of people are taking notice. It's for sure viewer friendly to watch on TV. And I think a lot of viewers were saying this is the way to watch volleyball. And so it set a great standard to do that.
It's different to not hold the challenge card and have to press the iPad at all.
And then wait for 10 minutes to watch the same slow replay over and over again that we already knew the outcome when we saw the first replay. And this was 8 seconds to Poland, back to the head official, decision made. That's a beautiful thing, and it's fan friendly, it's player friendly, and I think everybody enjoyed it.
Any questions?
Yeah. Coach, let's talk about the importance of that extra players from the stand. Let's talk about the crowd and how they're important, in entire game.
Yeah, for sure. Volleyball is an energy sport, a momentum sport. Our players will feed off the crowd. I think we got players that are going to feed off a visiting crowd when we're somewhere else, and they're going to enjoy that part of it because sometimes they're cheering against you. I think what's cool about the Nebraska fans, they were cheering for us, but also for good volleyball. And that's what Husker fans do too. They cheer for the Huskers, but they also applaud Illinois when they make a great play, or they applaud Wisconsin when there's a great point. It's the classiness of these fans. So I think in that event, they were appreciating us, but they were also appreciating the level of volleyball. They were passionately behind us. I mean, we were down 0-2 and going in the locker room, and we came back, and the fans were celebrating that we arrived back on the court saying, let's go. We know how to do this. We know how to lead a team to a reverse sweep. They were educated about that, and they pushed us, and there's no question. We made more plays and jumped higher and harder because there was fan support behind us. So it was a wonderful thing, and I think our players do feel a responsibility, and our staff does, to this great crowd and these passionate fans that we're going to keep going, we're going to go for wins, and we're going to make them happy and proud.